The younger generation is not okay. Let's get into this, guys.
20 to 30% of U.S. college students only have basic quantitative literacy skills.
Yo, this is crazy. They are unable to estimate if their car has enough gas to get to the next gas station or calculate the total cost. That is sad. There's no way this is real. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was this bad. Holy shit. Now, you know what the thing is? The amount of people who say they don't read books is actually quite concerning. Like, they're like, oh, I prefer to listen like to audiobooks and everything, but being able to read, understanding new words and shit is it's gonna give you an edge over like 90% of people, and a lot of people don't do that. It's weird.
That's the ability to interpret numerical information to solve a real world problem, aka a word problem on a math test. Over 75% of people enrolled at 2-year colleges are not able to fully understand things they read. But although you may think this is information from 2026,
that's just sad too, because being able to read is it's weird because it's a flex nowadays because nobody reads anymore.
Actually comes from a study in 2006. And here I was listening to middle school and high school teachers complaining that the kids can't read, believing that it has something to do with brain rot and social media. But what the hell were college kids doing in 2006? Sure, social media was kind of around, and I remember being a little kid in 2006 and consuming brainless content that probably had an effect on my developing brain. But I thought, like many other people, that the rise of content from the early 2010s to now is what was making the kids have a harder time in school. But 54% of adults in 2024...
What the fuck? Okay, this is just US though. America is just cooked. I don't think it's like this in like the other countries. Because anywhere else in the West, a lot of people are pretty educated. Unless you're in like a third world country or whatever. But if you're in a place with like good education, you have opportunities and all that stuff, I think you're good. 54% below 6th grade level is insane. This is just sad.
We're reading below a 6th grade literacy level.
Annual.
So that shows.
I remember when I was in grade 6, I was reading a lot of books, like A Series of Unfortunate Events, like Geronimo Stilton. Like I was actually pretty studious. I can't lie. I read quite a bit of novels.
Me that intelligence is not what changed. Instead of Gen Alpha becoming less intelligent than their parents, they've instead just become more depressed.
Tell them you're hungry. Like, I'm hungry.
And this depression has been, of course, linked to social media use, which also did the same thing to Gen Z, who make up the current college kids who also can't read. Although academically, they're not much different than the millennials. But essentially, social skills are being traded for tech skills, since Gen Alpha is about 30% less physically active than millennials were.
Yeah, especially we're moving with technology now. Everything's going on tech. There's like work from home options too. Streamers, like if you're a streamer, you're sitting on your ass, unless you're doing like an IRL stream or whatever. But for the most part, you're just sitting down.
At their age, which is crazy how fast it happened. Me and my wife were still under 25 when the COVID pandemic started, which is when, for a brief moment, the world changed before the kids even knew how it worked. And this decrease in, happiness goes for all of Gen Alpha. Everywhere. You know, I was trying to make a funny video until I made this horrible discovery. But deep down, we all knew it. I have never heard the words mental health so much in my entire life until
Then now, yeah, that is true.
Gen Z's little brothers and sisters made it to middle.
That is true. Everything is mental health this, mental health that. And don't get me wrong, like, yes, we should take it seriously. But, like, it's been so prevalent these past few years. It's insane.
School. And I don't think it's the same as the people born in the 70s, 80s, and even the boomers, where the concept of mental health was kind of make-believe.
Yeah.
Growing up as a kid in the 2000s, we were happier as a whole because we had all the perks of the internet without things like negative comments, because it was so much harder for anybody to see any content that you posted. And yeah, there were still issues with body image, but not to the extent of today with looks maxing and
this oh my gosh, all this looks maxing shit is insane going on, especially with Gen Z and like all this TikTok trends and shit too.
Teenagers and legit children being obsessed with cosmetic surgery or procedures, which I have to note was already happening in South Korea long before the rest of the world caught up. Although millennials do have to take the...
What the fuck? Bro, what is this? There's no way she did this and was like, yeah, this looks good. You can't look at this and say this looks good. What are we doing, man?
L for BBLs, since Gen Z wouldn't even know what it was if the older millennials didn't popularize it first.
Shaped like the letter P. Que es madre.
Holy
Pobre señora,
shit.
they had her looking like Squidward.
But my
Look how fast he put down the camera, too, when she turned around, bro.
goodness, the kids are seeing guys like Clavicular, which although he admits he's not a role model and says not to do what he does, he's admitted to doing meth to stay lean.
So to get lean, I kind of have a different approach to doing it than most models. So like instead of doing cocaine to get lean, I actually do crystal meth.
Really? Wait, let's look this up. How does meth keep you lean? It doesn't even tell me. It shoots me over to the Canadian website, get help with substance abuse. Like, I don't want that. I want to know the actual science behind that,
That's
though.
why we wouldn't allow men in this skinny society.
Allegedly making himself infertile due to the things he injects into his body, and bone smashing, which is exactly what it sounds like to essentially chisel his face. I mean,
What the
he was injecting
fuck?
face filler into his 17-year-old
He actually hit his face with a hammer? I thought it was just a term for something. This is just a whole nother level.
girlfriend's face live. All essentially because he's insecure about his appearance. Which, bro, you
Yo, I understand, like, you gotta take care of yourself, look good and everything. Yes. Like, I support looks maxing to a point. You know, like, take care of yourself, look good, drink a lot of water, go to the gym, work out, get that body you want. You know what I mean? Take care of your face, brush your teeth, like, everything. But when it gets to the point when you're, like, injecting artificial shit into your body and doing all this crazy stuff, that's when it's like, okay, you're taking it too far. You're taking it too far.
you could have still got a pretty girlfriend without smashing your face and making yourself infertile. And all of this is just about him being able to attract women. But bro, the type of girls you hang around, Charleston White could attract them just by having money. And you're 20, bro.
That is
I was in
true.
college at 20. Girls your age are not hard to impress. A nice haircut.
Dude, the thing is, it's so, like, what is the point of all this? In the next, like, 10, like, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, none of this shit is gonna matter. You know what I mean? Like, looks, yes, take care of your looks, but, like, looks are so fleeting. You don't have them forever. Like, we're young now, you know, probably to, like, our late 30s. And, like, if you take care of yourself, you're gonna look good to, like, probably your 40s, too. But those looks start to go away eventually. You know what I'm trying to say? And especially if you're doing, like, drugs, there's got to be some type of long-term consequence. I don't think he's going to be able to keep this up for this long.
Probably would have done the job. And he's of course also a bit of a racist. Please don't be like this guy.
What the fuck? What is this hat, bro? Yo, I've actually never watched any of his streams. I keep seeing clips on TikTok, but I did not know he was, like, this crazy. What the fuck?
It's really escaping your
Who made that hat? How did he get that custom stitched on there?
black boyfriend beating you up.
But he's a good example of this mental health crisis that we all know the world has been going.
And you know the thing, since he's so popular and he's, like, on stream and TikTok and Instagram and everything, people will still, like, look up to him. Like, there's gonna be some kids who are gonna want to do what he's doing, which, like, it's so weird.
Through. The man permanently damaged his body to become more attractive to women. And he's just the most famous example because many young men and women have gone through significant body modification just to feel attractive.
Maxing? What the fuck is white maxing? Dude, holy shit.
Many things that would have been considered extreme
There's a whole subreddit on this about this clavicular guy. This is insane, bro.
are becoming normal. And as a result, the kids growing up don't know the difference. But whose fault is this, right? We always want to point the finger. But honestly, it's kind of hard to say, at least without sounding like a conspiracy theorist. I can't blame people my age from 20 to 30
Don't even get me started on that Jack Doherty guy, bro. I do not like that kid.
because the content most people put on the internet doesn't come from any hidden agenda, it's just their reality. And that's very different from a big celebrity endorsing a certain type of behavior or mindset, because when it comes to people like that, including the Kardashian-Jenner family and even the D'Amelio family, I truly believe that what they promote is part of some agenda, because, well, they're getting paid to push whatever their agency decides, essentially. And I feel like it's kind of the case with all the
Crazy. That Charlie D'Amelio, I remember when I was seeing, like, all her fucking dances on TikTok, like, back in, like, 2019, 2020, like, the early days of TikTok and shit. And now she's just a brand. It's crazy.
The biggest influencers, like the top 1%. But when we're talking about some random streamer that's self-conscious about his appearance, this is not him trying to push his lifestyle on other people, for the most part, because he's just doing what he actually believes is best for him in his life, even if that means literally smashing his face in. Now, I do think that someone is to blame for the wider acceptance of doing adult content as soon as you turn 18, but I can't really pin down exactly who.
Is this, oh my gosh, I saw this shit too, bro. This is fucked. Like, the whole, like, Bob House thing and everything, this Piper Raquel situation, like, her mom was supporting her to do OF, like, right as she turns 18. And you know what's crazy? The minute they open up those accounts, they make millions in like minutes. It's fucking disgusting because there's so many weirdos out there. And they actually pay and subscribe to these things.
Trouble you that a lot of your fans are older men?
I mean, it's not, I don't really think about it that much. I don't think about it like that.
Your OnlyFans has no nudity.
Like, if you think about it, even when you're 18, you're still a kid. You're like, you're still a child, bro. Yes, like, by law, legally, we are adults. But it's like, in terms of life in general, you're still a baby, bro.
I mean, no, not yet, at least. I'm not shutting that door because I'm very comfortable with who I am.
Or maybe it's not a person, and it's actually a group of people, or a corporation. But it's like the era of being comfortable in your own body quickly turned into something else completely. And the easier it is for people to see what you post.
Get this guy off my screen. Get this guy off my screen. Please, bro.
Definitely contributes to the mental health crisis. Like, imagine you're some kid in 2016 posting videos on YouTube. Unless your parents are brainstorming.
That guy, he reminds me of the... I don't know if anybody else sees it, but he kind of reminds me of like Jacob Sartorius. I kind of see it. Just a little bit, though.
Unless your parents are brainstorming the content for you on a family channel and doing all the behind the scenes work, there's a very good chance that no one would have ever found your content. But then just a couple years later, TikTok happens and it's most popular with children. And not only that, but the audience of these children are children. You don't have to have any type of follow.
Pretty much this Jack Doherty guy, if any of you guys don't know, he's a popular streamer. He streams on Kick. A lot of the people who stream on Kick are just degenerates, in my opinion. Like, Neon, Jack Doherty, Clavicular. They're just not people you want to be looking up to. Let's just put it that way.
God damn, bro. All right, if you had to pick someone to date right now, would you pick me or him?
Sorry, I already had you. I already
Nah.
Come on, bro.
To get negative comments on the internet. And as a child, your brain cannot handle it. Even most adults, like I remember this huge YouTuber named Whistling Diesel saying he has a photo album in his phone that's completely dedicated to negative comments he received, and that cannot be a healthy thing to hold
Why would you keep that? I'm so confused.
on to.
Why would you want to do that to yourself mentally? Like, yes, you're gonna get hate comments no matter what, especially on social media. People always have shit to say, but you don't focus on that stuff though. It's just noise. You don't pay attention to noise. You know what I mean? Like, that is strange.
And not to mention the thing that we all joked about that many kids have to deal with in reality now, having an OnlyFans mom.
Lexi Thomas is a parent.
Nah. She's got to be banned from like schools and shit. Like, if she was going to pick up her kid, they're going to kick her out, right? Because you can't show this. If you were in middle school, trust me, okay, here's the thing. Middle school was like the worst. Like, I got like, I don't know if anyone else had that experience, but middle school is like, kids are so mean. People will say shit to you. It's like character development arc, bro. If any of your friends knows that any of your family members, your mom or like sister or whatever does OnlyFans, bro, you are not going to hear the end of it. I just feel bad for whoever the kids are. That's just sad, bro.
At Liberty Christian, who wants this ad on another parent's car to stay off campus.
It's fucked up.
That other parent is Michelle Klein, and what she has is an OnlyFans.
Well, it's definitely linked to, explicit content, adult content, for sure.
Oh my God. Here it is, guys. They openly admit it. They just blow it in your face. She doesn't care. This is sad, bro. This is not something. Okay, here's the thing. If you're going to do that, go do that. You know what I mean? But if you have kids and you're doing this type of thing, it's a whole different story. I just did some research like after I made the video, and I just figured out that like she got 9 kids expelled from this school. So you're telling me she had kids going to this school. Mind you, this is a Christian private school. So I'm guessing the other kids who also got expelled got involved with this somehow or something. Maybe they were making fun of the kid.
Some moms complaining to Klein and the school, telling her not to use the main entrance.
I knew it. That's what I said. She would get kicked out. They're not. You can't show up to schools in elementary schools like that or middle schools or whatever, advertising your OnlyFans.
That drop her kids off across the street.
Back in my day, you just had to worry about kids at school thinking your mom was attractive.
Yeah,
but
right?
now, some of these kids can search up their classmate's mom and find a little bit more.
Yes.
But the kids watching their favorite influencer get cosmetic surgery, or just watching people on social media argue about things that don't even affect them, like the Super Bowl halftime show. Imagine how all of this is shaping the next generation. Half of them are going to be scared to have an opinion, and the other half are going to take a very strong stance in one direction just to prove they're not scared to have an opinion. And when I was in college, while I was having fun, I watched people have panic attacks and drop out within the first semester because of whatever mental health problem they were experiencing, just being away from home. And I can't help but think that this type of thing is going to just become worse. Who's going to be a doctor or a lawyer if everyone loses their mind before they turn 21? You don't need me to tell you that the kids are cooked, because you probably heard
it, dude, and we've heard it like a million times too. It's like all this mental health shit, it's only getting worse. You know what I mean? Like my generation, Gen Z, our generation, is like, it's kind of fucked. Like obviously, yes, you still have, there's always gonna be people who are like serious and people who are like, you know, they're strong mentally. You have to be really strong mentally if you're going to survive in the world now. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you can't be a pushover. You can't be weak. It's like, what is it? Natural selection, like kind of, you know what I mean? But, you know, look after yourselves. Make sure you're good mentally and any other area of life too, honestly, because this is just sad. And I can't even imagine like what Gen Alpha is going to be like. It's going to be even worse.
a million people say it by now. But man, it's starting to sound a little bit too close to reality. It's starting to actually sound true. But I'm sure it'll be fine, right? I kind of proved by looking through these studies that other people did that the kids aren't actually dumber than their older siblings or their parents. They're just sadder. And I guess that can go away eventually, right? I don't know, man. Kind of scared for the future. But then again, I'm kind of scared of the present. And I know that
See, this is on Kick. Twitch would never allow this, bro. Like, look at this donation. Jeff Epstein tipped $4. This can't be real, bro. Like this, I shouldn't even be laughing at this. It's literally brain rot, but it's funny because it just goes to show how fucked up these streams are. You know what I mean?
some of the kids have a good head on their shoulders, so I guess we'll just have to push them and hope that they keep it together. Don't forget to ask your little brother or your little cousin how he's doing, and I don't know, encourage him to go outside, I guess. I'll see you next time.
Oh my goodness, that was a crazy video. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.